The plane, just after taking off for Florida in perfect weather, suddenly plummeted to the ground. Along with 8 passengers, Aaliyah, a young Brooklyn native and a talented singer and actress.
Newly uncovered footage has gone viral, sparking intense debates about Aaliyah's tragic death and her connections to Jay-Z and other powerful figures in the music industry. This footage, captured before Aaliyah's death, has raised questions about why Jay-Z is on the run after this clip was released. Join us as we uncover the drama behind this revelation. The untimely death of Aaliyah. Aaliyah, Dana Houghton, widely recognized as Aaliyah, was an influential singer, actress, dancer, and model who significantly transformed the genres of R&B, pop, and hip-hop. Often referred to as the Princess of R&B and the Queen of Urban Pop. Her promising career was tragically ended on August 25, 2001. On that fateful day, Aaliyah and several members of her entourage boarded a twin-engine Cessna 402 light aircraft at Marsh Harbor Airport in the Bahamas. They had just completed filming the music video for her song Rock the Boat and were eager to return to Florida. Although their flight was originally scheduled for the following day, the team opted to depart early due to the filming concluding ahead of schedule. However, the aircraft they chose was smaller than the one they had arrived on, raising concerns regarding its weight and capacity. Shortly after takeoff, the plane crashed and ignited approximately 200 feet from the runway, resulting in the loss of all 9 lives on board, including Aaliyah. The passengers included pilot Luis Morales III, hairstylist Eric Foreman, security guard Scott Gallen, family friend Keith Wallace, makeup artist Christopher Maldonado, and Black Ground Records employees Douglas Kratz and Gina Smith. Reports indicated that the passengers had become increasingly frustrated with delays, as the aircraft had arrived later than anticipated. Witnesses later recounted that intense arguments occurred between the passengers and the pilot. Morales allegedly cautioned the group about the plane being overloaded and unsafe for takeoff, yet the passengers insisted on proceeding with the flight. Another pilot, Louis Key, noted that while Morales appeared reluctant, he ultimately gave in to their demands. The investigation's findings intensified the tragedy. The National Transportation Safety Board disclosed that the aircraft was overloaded by 700 pounds and exceeded its passenger limit by 1 individual. Eyewitnesses recounted observing the plane take off momentarily before its nose dipped, leading to its descent into a marsh at the runway's terminus. The pilot, Luis Morales III, was discovered to have falsified his FAA certification in flight experience. Toxicology analyses indicated the presence of illegal substances and alcohol in his system at the time of the incident. Aaliyah sustained critical injuries. The coroner's inquest indicated that she endured burns, head trauma, and shock. Given her pre-existing heart condition, her chances of survival would have been minimal, even with timely rescue efforts. The remains of the victims, some severely charred, were subsequently identified by their families at the Princess Margaret Hospital in Nassau. What shook the entertainment industry wasn't just her sudden death, it was the wave of speculation and the reactions from fans that followed. What were these speculations, and which famous stars were involved? The dark mysteries surrounding Aaliyah's death. Aaliyah's untimely demise increased throughout the globe, leaving fans in profound sorrow as they mourned the loss of a rising talent who had enchanted them with her angelic voice, elegant demeanor, and remarkable abilities. Tributes emerged from every corner of the world, with admirers creating murals, organizing vigils, and inundating social media platforms with expressions of grief and disbelief. For her supporters, Aaliyah transcended the role of a mere vocalist. She embodied hope, beauty, and resilience. The abruptness of her departure left many struggling to comprehend how someone so vibrant could vanish so unexpectedly. In the wake of her tragic death, a flurry of rumors and speculations regarding the circumstances surrounding the incident began to circulate. What was initially perceived as a devastating accident soon became the focus of rigorous examination. Speculations of foul play surfaced, linking her demise to a complex web of tensions involving figures such as Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and R. Kelly. Fans and close acquaintances began to scrutinize the peculiar occurrences leading up to her last moments, questioning whether the narrative presented to the public was complete. A growing number of individuals are now advocating for the case to be revisited, seeking justice for Aaliyah. A name that frequently emerged in these conversations was Hype Williams, the director of her final music video, Rock the Boat. The original plan for the video included green screens and underwater scenes filmed in Miami. However, Williams abruptly opted to relocate the shoot to the Bahamas. This decision has long puzzled fans who wonder about the rationale behind such a significant change. Given that Miami's beaches offered equally picturesque settings and greater convenience, some speculate that this shift was intentional, although no definitive explanations have been forthcoming. Dame Dash, who was engaged to Aliyah at the time, contributed to the narrative surrounding her tragic flight by disclosing her apprehensions about boarding the aircraft. In a subsequent interview, he noted that Aliyah had expressed hesitance regarding the flight. Compounding the situation were allegations that Lenny Kravitz had offered her a private jet for the journey, which was reportedly claimed by Hype Williams instead. Consequently, Aliyah and her entourage were compelled to board a smaller, less dependable aircraft, which ultimately met with disaster. Fans voiced their indignation, with one individual articulating their discontent by stating that Aliyah had been unwilling to board the plane, yet found herself with no alternative. This situation is both tragic and exasperating. Further complicating the narrative, 13-year-old Kingsley Russell, who witnessed events at the airport, asserted that Aliyah had initially declined to board the plane due to concerns regarding its weight. Russell recounted that Aliyah returned to sleep in a taxi while her team engaged in a dispute. He claimed that she was subsequently administered a sleeping pill, and once she was unconscious, she was carried onto the aircraft without her consent. Tragically, moments after takeoff, the overloaded plane crashed, resulting in the loss of all lives on board. Aliyah's remains were discovered secured in her seat, with the autopsy indicating she had sustained head injuries and severe burns. The circumstances surrounding the crash only intensified the scrutiny. Investigations revealed that the pilot had falsified his credentials and was under the influence of both illegal substances and alcohol during the flight. Additionally, the aircraft exceeded its weight capacity, rendering the catastrophe nearly unavoidable. Fans were left bewildered by the apparent disregard for such significant warning signs. Was this merely a tragic accident, or did a more malevolent intention underlie the events leading to the crash? Some individuals contend that Aliyah's unwillingness to yield to specific pressures within the music industry rendered her vulnerable. There were murmurs suggesting that her increasing awareness of clandestine power dynamics, including references to the Illuminati, might have predetermined her fate. Proponents of these theories argue that her refusal to comply with these expectations sealed her destiny. Compounding the intrigue, Jay-Z promptly released a remix of Aliyah's song I Miss You following her untimely death, alluding to her admiration for the book The Seat of the Soul, which delves into concepts of spiritual enlightenment and personal empowerment. This connection led fans to draw parallels with Aliyah's unsettling dream, in which she envisioned herself soaring away beyond anyone's grasp. Surprisingly, this is not the whole story. 4 names, Beyoncé, Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and R. Kelly, have always been at the center whenever Aliyah's death is discussed. But what were her connections to these individuals? Let's start with her alleged illegal marriage to R. Kelly. Aliyah's tragic relationship and controversial marriage to R. Kelly. Aliyah's ascent to fame started at the young age of 15 with the release of her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. This milestone not only represented a significant turning point in her professional journey, but also heralded the onset of a contentious period in her personal life, particularly concerning her association with R. Kelly. Reports indicate that Aliyah formed a close bond with Kelly during the production of her debut album. She was quoted in Vibe magazine, mentioning that when she felt fatigued, she and Kelly would take breaks to dine or watch films before continuing their work. Aliyah described their relationship as rather close. In a December 1994 interview with the Chicago Sun-Times, she reportedly refuted rumors of a marriage to Kelly, advising the public not to believe all that mess. She maintained that their relationship was misinterpreted, asserting that they were simply good friends. Despite her assertions, rumors regarding a romantic involvement between Aliyah and Kelly continued to circulate after her album's release. Allegations emerged, including claims that the two had entered into a secret marriage without parental consent. Vibe magazine later published a marriage certificate that purportedly indicated the couple wed on August 31, 1994, at the Sheraton Gateway Suites in Rosemont, Illinois. Although Aliyah was only 15 at the time, the certificate allegedly recorded her age as 18, while Kelly was 27. However, it is reported that Aliyah's parents annulled the marriage in February 1995. Both Aliyah and Kelly are said to have denied the allegations, asserting that the marriage certificate was fraudulent. In a 1994 article for Sister to Sister magazine, Jamie Foster Brown reported that Kelly referred to his relationship with Aliyah as just magic. Brown also highlighted rumors of an intimate relationship between the two, including speculation that Aliyah might have been pregnant. Brown reported receiving complaints regarding Aliyah's extensive time spent in the studio with male associates, although her record label maintained that the nature of these relationships was strictly platonic. In his 2011 publication, The Man Behind the Man, Looking from the Inside Out, Demetrius Smith Sr., a former tour manager for Kelly, claimed that the singer had wed Aliyah after she disclosed her pregnancy to him. Smith acknowledged his role in fabricating documents that inaccurately indicated Aliyah was 18 years old, a choice he later expressed remorse over. Furthermore, the 2019 documentary Surviving R. Kelly included testimonies from individuals such as Javante Cunningham, a former backup dancer, who alleged that she had observed Kelly engaging in inappropriate activities with Aliyah on his tour bus. Legal documents indicated that Aliyah had misrepresented her age. In 1997, she allegedly initiated a lawsuit in Cook County to have the marriage records annulled, as she was underage and lacked parental consent to marry. Following the annulment, Aliyah reportedly cut all personal and professional connections with Kelly, refraining from any further communication. Her cousin, Jomo Hankerson, later remarked that the scandal had negatively impacted her reputation and complicated her efforts to find producers for her second album. He voiced his frustration regarding the backlash Aliyah faced, particularly given her youth during the incident. After their separation, Aliyah was said to have steered clear of discussing Kelly in interviews. Journalist Christopher John Farley recounted an instance where he inquired about Kelly during an interview with Aliyah. She reportedly responded with a definitive and cold no when asked if she had maintained contact with him or would collaborate with him again. It was observed that Aliyah would divert the conversation whenever the topic of their marriage arose. In 2000, her spokesperson confirmed that Aliyah had chosen not to mention Kelly's name or respond to any inquiries regarding him. Damon Dash, who later entered into a romantic relationship with Aliyah, disclosed that she refrained from discussing her connection with R. Kelly, even in private settings. He asserted that whenever he attempted to broach the subject, Aliyah would merely refer to Kelly as a bad man. Dash expressed that viewing the Surviving R. Kelly documentary was particularly challenging for him, as it evoked memories of Aliyah's difficulties in articulating her experiences with Kelly. In contrast, Kelly reportedly chose not to comment on his relationship with Aliyah following her passing, citing a desire to respect her and her family as the rationale for his reticence. In a 2016 interview, he purportedly acknowledged that he loved Aliyah as deeply as he had loved anyone else. Aliyah's mother, Diane Houghton, later reflected on how her daughter's association with Kelly marked the onset of numerous difficulties in her life. The release of the Surviving R. Kelly documentary in 2019 sparked significant public outrage against Kelly. The film reignited scrutiny of his alleged history of harm, with his marriage to Aaliyah frequently referenced as indicative of his predatory conduct. The hashtag #MuteRKelly gained traction, leading to RCA Records reportedly severing ties with him. In the same year, Kelly faced indictment on 10 counts of aggravated criminal misconduct and subsequently encountered numerous federal charges. During Kelly's trial in 2021, his unlawful marriage to Aliyah was a focal point. Prosecutors contended that this marriage was emblematic of a broader pattern of exploitation involving minors. In June 2022, he received a sentence of 30 years in prison. But what was Jay-Z's role in the story? What kind of relationship did he have with Aliyah? Was it as complex as her relationship with R. Kelly? And how did it ignite controversy between R. Kelly and Jay-Z? The complex relationships of Aliyah, Damon Dash, Jay-Z, and R. Kelly. Damon Dash, the co-founder of Rockefeller Records and Aliyah's partner prior to her tragic passing, has reportedly voiced significant disapproval of his former business partner Jay-Z for his collaboration with R. Kelly. In an interview on the That's Effed Up podcast, Dash articulated his discontent regarding Jay-Z's choice to work with Kelly, particularly in light of the serious allegations against him. In reflecting on Kelly's subsequent conviction, Dash suggested that Kelly was receiving the consequences he deserved, implying that he possessed first-hand knowledge of the harm Kelly had inflicted upon Aliyah. When questioned about whether he had ever confronted Kelly regarding his treatment of Aliyah, Dash disclosed that Aliyah had urged him to refrain from addressing the issue altogether. He recounted that even during their joint appearance in a music video, Aliyah took measures to ensure that there would be no interactions or confrontations between him and Kelly. She reportedly made considerable efforts to maintain a peaceful environment and to avoid any shared scenes with Kelly. Dash further conveyed his unease with Jay-Z's decision to collaborate with Kelly on their joint album, The Best of Both Worlds. He expressed difficulty in reconciling his awareness of the truth about Kelly with the completion of a full album project. Dash made it clear that he wished to have no association with the album, instructing Jay-Z and others to exclude his name from it. Additionally, he requested that any financial proceeds related to the project be allocated to the Aliyah Foundation, underscoring his desire for no personal financial benefit from the collaboration. There were also rumors suggesting that both Jay-Z and Kelly had previously shown interest in Aliyah, which may have contributed to underlying tension between the two men. This rivalry reportedly became more pronounced during their collaborative efforts. For context, Jay-Z and Kelly joined forces in the early 2000s to produce 2 albums, The Best of Both Worlds in 2002 and Unfinished Business in 2004. Initially, the professional collaboration between the two artists seemed to hold great potential. However, it reportedly deteriorated during a co-headlining tour, resulting in both public and personal turmoil. During the Best of Both Worlds tour, tensions reportedly intensified when Kelly perceived threats from certain individuals in the audience. Having previously received threats before the performance, Kelly became increasingly uneasy as he observed suspicious activities among the crowd. Despite his apprehensions, security personnel allegedly disregarded his alerts, which left him feeling unsupported. At one juncture, Kelly reportedly addressed the audience to express his apologies before abruptly exiting the stage due to his discomfort. The situation escalated dramatically when Kelly attempted to re-enter the stage. He was reportedly pepper sprayed by Tyron Ty Smith, a close associate of Jay-Z. This incident represented a critical juncture in the already fragile relationship between Kelly and Jay-Z. Kelly reportedly suspected that Jay-Z had a hand in orchestrating the threats against him, interpreting these actions as an effort to undermine his position during the tour. Although Jay-Z's precise motivations remained ambiguous, the incident deepened the divide between the two artists. In response, Jay-Z was said to have expressed frustration over Kelly's sudden departure from the stage and the overall disruption it caused to the tour. The aftermath of the tour resulted in considerable legal and financial conflicts. Kelly reportedly initiated a $75 million lawsuit against Jay-Z, alleging breach of contract. This legal confrontation not only illuminated their declining professional relationship, but also emphasized the underlying tensions that had been brewing for years. In a related context, Dash revealed that he had once harbored feelings for Aaliyah, characterizing her as more than a mere fleeting romantic interest. According to Dash, Aaliyah was regarded as a queen within their social circle, attracting considerable attention from many admirers. He recounted an incident where Jay-Z expressed frustration upon discovering that Dash was successfully cultivating a relationship with her. Dash reminisced about moments of lighthearted rivalry, including a particular occasion when he descended the stairs to find Jay-Z's associates playfully mocking him regarding the situation. Ultimately, Dash and Aaliyah started their romantic relationship in 2000 after being introduced by mutual acquaintances. Their connection reportedly evolved organically over time, rather than being hurried. At that juncture, Aaliyah was experiencing significant success in her career, juggling her music endeavors alongside a burgeoning acting profession, while Dash was dedicated to the expansion of Rockefeller Records. Despite their busy schedules, they made a concerted effort to prioritize their relationship. Dash frequently articulated the comfort he found in Aaliyah's company, characterizing her as kind, authentic, and serene. Her presence was said to have a magnetic quality, drawing people towards her, and Dash found solace and inspiration in their time together. Their relationship was described as serious, with Dash revealing that they had even contemplated marriage and envisioned a shared future. Tragically, their aspirations were abruptly halted in 2001 when Aaliyah lost her life in a plane crash. In the aftermath, Dash has candidly discussed the profound influence of her passing on his life. He characterized their connection as unique and irreplaceable, underscoring the deep emotional impact her absence has had on him. It is evident that Aaliyah left a lasting impression on Dash's life, profoundly shaping his outlook and leaving him with treasured memories of their shared experiences. However, Beyoncé was also dragged into the controversy. But one question remains. What does the Illuminati and Beyoncé have to do with Aaliyah's death? Beyoncé's alleged connection to Aaliyah's death. The story surrounding Aaliyah's untimely death and its subsequent implications has given rise to numerous theories, many of which explore the more sinister aspects of celebrity culture and fame. A particularly contentious and persistent line of speculation pertains to her alleged affiliations, or lack thereof, with purported secret societies, with speculations suggesting that her premature passing may not have been a mere accident. Central to these discussions are two prominent figures in the music industry, Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Some theorists propose that Jay-Z's interest in Aaliyah extended beyond mere admiration. It has been suggested that Aaliyah's influence and her resistance to conform to certain industry pressures rendered her vulnerable. Reports indicate that she declined invitations to associate with powerful organizations such as the Illuminati. This refusal is believed by some to have angered influential figures, including Jay-Z, who was rumored to be connected to these groups during that period. The timing of Beyoncé's rapid ascent in the music industry further complicates this narrative. Coinciding with Aaliyah's death, Beyoncé was transitioning into a solo career following her success with Destiny's Child. There are those who assert that she was selected to take Aaliyah's place and fulfill a vision that Aaliyah had rejected. The similarities in their careers are notable. Both were prominent figures in R&B with aspirations in acting. Additionally, the meanings of their names appear to hold significance. Aliyah translates to the highest, most exalted one, while Beyoncé means one who is beyond others. This has led fans to speculate that Aaliyah's death may have inadvertently paved the way for Beyoncé's rise to superstardom. In the weeks leading up to her untimely plane crash, Aliyah participated in an interview in Paris where she recounted a chilling dream. She described it as a dark experience in which she felt pursued by an unknown entity, instilling a sense of fear within her. However, she also conveyed a sense of liberation as she suddenly took flight, stating that she flew away, far away, and that no one could reach or touch her, describing it as a wonderful feeling. This dream has been interpreted by fans as a possible premonition of her tragic fate, with the figure pursuing her symbolizing those who may have sought to exert control or inflict harm upon her. Moreover, some of Aliyah's unrealized ambitions appear to have been realized in Beyoncé's career. During the same interview, Aliyah expressed her fascination with Egyptian history and her aspiration to portray Cleopatra in a film. Years later, Beyoncé took on a role in Dreamgirls, which many have compared to Cleopatra in its grandeur and essence. Additionally, Aliyah mentioned her intentions to create a line of clothing and accessories, a vision that Beyoncé later brought to fruition through her fashion endeavors. These uncanny parallels have led fans to speculate whether Aliyah's dreams were somehow transferred to Beyoncé after her passing. In the aftermath of Aliyah's death, Beyoncé referred to her as an angel and contemplated the fragility of life. While her reflections were sincere, some fans perceived a more profound implication in her words. The timing of Beyoncé's ascent to stardom following Aliyah's death, along with her associations with influential figures such as Jay-Z and Diddy, has only intensified these suspicions. Dame Dash, Aliyah's boyfriend at the time of her death, has been vocal in attributing blame to the elite of Hollywood for the tragedy. He has openly criticized the power dynamics within the entertainment industry, suggesting that Aliyah's death was not merely a tragic accident. Jaguar Wright, a notable figure within the music industry, has put forth assertions that connect Aliyah's untimely demise to the ascendance of Beyoncé and Jay-Z, positing that their professional trajectories were strategically orchestrated and that Aliyah's absence was a calculated element of this scheme. While these theories may appear far-fetched, they have endured over time, driven by the palpable tension between Aliyah's enduring legacy and the meteoric rise of Beyoncé. Speculation regarding Jay-Z's previous romantic involvement with Aliyah, coupled with his competitive dynamics with Dame Dash, introduces additional layers of intrigue. It raises the question of whether jealousy and ambition influenced the circumstances surrounding Aliyah's death, or if these associations are merely coincidental, interpreted through a lens of skepticism. Whether her death was a tragic accident or indicative of something more nefarious, the impact of her loss continues to cast a long shadow over those she left behind. For her admirers, Aliyah remains the princess of R&B, a remarkable talent whose life was cut short, leaving a legacy enveloped in mystery. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.